Now, when Bethesda told all the vault dwellers in Appalachia that you need to be able to have a tea or a coffee with you as you go through these patch notes for the Inside the Vault that they just released, y'all, they were not kidding. We just sat down and went through all of these patch notes, and we recorded a video for it, but in the middle of that recording, OBS changed my default audio, so about 5 or 10 minutes was working, and then the other 30 minutes was not working. So we're just going to do a brief overview of everything that was changed. Keep it kind of short and sweet, definitely not take up 35 minutes of your time. But y'all, Bethesda just announced their biggest combat change in a long time. I know we've had a bunch of perk card changes and stuff in the past, and we've had some weapon damage changes, but y'all, the list for this is rather long, and the fact is that it took me about 35 minutes to go through this entire thing, going down and skipping the bits where it would say, and these weapons are adjusted, oh, these perk cards, I don't ever read that sort of stuff, but y'all, there are a lot of changes to this, and it seems like Bethesda is going to be changing the way the VATS and aiming manually down the sights work, and it looks like they're going to be changing as well, just like they did with the Rifleman, the Commando perk cards. They're going to be changing away the Heavy Gunner perk cards as well as the 1- and 2-handed perk cards. Those are going to be changing up, and oh my god, there's this one for heavy guns that if you thought that heavy guns were crazy, now there is definitely for the heavy gunners. They are going to be utilizing this one right here. I've got to go through here and change because I don't look. I'm going to tell you this. Like, you're going to be able to see. Like, I don't know how well you can actually see this right here, but this is just me halfway through the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff there, and my mother does tell me all the time that I should choose a different finger to scroll with, but I never do anyways. Let's see. So let's see. Lord, I've got to find it real quick because I didn't think I was going to be here right now. Yes. Okay. So this right here. Oh my God, this is going to be Heavy Gunner is now going to go and be named Drum Corps, and Drum Corps is going to give you a stack of Bullet Storm. You know, cool video game from back in the day. For every 50 ammo spent, up to 10 stacks. And now each stack increases the damage by 3%. And it resets when you reload or change weapons. But this is going to have 3 ranks. So it's going to go 3, 6, 9. Damn, she's fine. Sock it to me one more time. I'm sorry for that earworm. So you can have 10 stacks of Bullet Storm. And they last, like I said, until you reload or change weapons. But what if I told you that Gunner Master, Heavy Gunner Master, is going to be called Bringing the Big Guns, and it's going to cost 3 points. Oh my. And what that's going to do is that is going to allow your overkill, your Bullet Storm stack limit to be doubled. Oh, that's going to be sweet. Oh, it's going to be great. And then, hey, lock and load, you get to keep half of your Bullet Storm stacks when you reload, and each stack increases the reload speed by 1%. And then they took a suggestion from the community. Oh my God. I tell people all the time, you never know who's reading the comments, but I've seen the comments on this one change. And that, my friends, is they're taking away the Heavy Gunner Expert perk card. They are going to name it Tightly Wound. It's going to cost 2 points. And weapon spin up time is going to be faster. No longer is it going to take forever and a day for that. And also, something that I saw suggested in the comment section is that when you inspect a fish, it now will show you how many of that you have caught of that type of fish. But it's not going to be retroactive. It's going to go from that update forward. But I'm so happy to see that. But there are so many changes that we could go through here. And I actually did go through all of these changes, but OBS pissed me off, right the hell off, with all of this. But there's so many changes in here, and there's so many base damage modifications that not really, like, I know there's a word that a bunch of players like to say, and that word is nerf. There's not a lot of those. Like, by a couple of points, maybe. Like, Okay, Nuka-Cola quantum grenades are going to be a little bit more expensive to cost. Oh, dang it. Like, oh, the Thirst Zapper Nuka-Cola quantum bit's going to be not as powerful. Oh, dang it. But they're making the Nuka-Cola, like, one better, and the one below it better, the cherry, it's going to be better. But almost every weapon on this list is getting a buff. Now, the sneak damage multiplier is going to be multiplicative and not additive, so it's going to be more powerful. But AP costs are on the rise again. And also, auto axe damage per hit, I think it was 24 per second, has now been moved to 14. So there are some, as y'all would like to say, nerfs, but there's a whole heckin' lot of buffs that I am seeing on this list, and y'all, I am so excited to go through and like do some builds with this sort of stuff. I even said on there that with the change to a Kami Whacker damage from a 5 to a 14, I might need to go through and do a Kami Whacker build, like just on the PTS, just to try it out and see what it is like. Let me know if you'd like to see some random builds done on the PTS. Because now, with all of these changes coming to a close, like we shouldn't see any rebalances for quite some time, because we've been getting rebalance after rebalance after rebalance. And I can understand a lot of players have been like, damn it, I am tired of changing my build. I have my build the way I like it. I get it, I understand. But it's nice because with all of these rebalances, it seems like the enemies in the world, just like we've been talking about, are going to be getting harder, because there is a list of enemies that are going to scale up to rank 100 in the Wasteland. And I'm so happy to hear that, because honestly, it's been easy. Yeah, I've got over 4,500 hours in the game. I've got my build the way I like it. I don't min-max, but I tell you what, I can take out some enemies with a Gatling gun, my 5mm Gatling gun, and I love it to death. And I like using lesser weapons. Oh, by the way, if you weren't already a fan of the black powder rifle and pistol, the Dragon, or the assault rifle, holy Christ. Oh my god, this is absolutely crazy, guys, because those damages just went right through the roof there. Even the Fixer. Fixer went from like 53 to 109, but the assault rifle, the black powder rifle, the black powder pistol, the Dragon, that like doubles. Some of them almost triple now for base damage, what they were. It's going to be a ridiculous time in the Wasteland, and I'm excited, like I was saying, now that the majority of these combat rebalances are kind of changing, I can get back into doing build videos. Because the only reason I've been putting off doing build videos is for the simple fact that I know things are changing so much in the Wasteland over these past few seasons that I haven't really wanted to make any builds. Because with so many changes come a new video that has to be made, and then you have to, you know, patch that video out on the title and stuff like that, and then people will still comment on that video, and it's just it's a nightmare sometimes as a creator. But it's one of those things that you just have to think about, what do you want to do? All right, now enact it. But let me know what you're thinking about the biggest combat rebalance it seems that Bethesda has announced. I don't know when we're going to get access to the PTS, but like we said in the previous video, I can see it being next week or a week or two before the QuakeCon event. But fingers crossed that July 4th weekend, not only can we launch some fireworks, I don't launch fireworks, I have 3 dogs, but we can launch some fireworks in the Wasteland and attack some of those heckin' enemy changes and some of those build changes. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out. Thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great and wonderful day out there in the Wasteland. Peace. Love ya.